Hi Manny, this is Julie and I'm going to give you an overview of how to set up the homework assignments for your Adams First Zoom doll class. Okay, so I'm in the Zoo, as you can see here right now. I just went to Cengage.com and clicked the login. So I logged in as you, and this is the book that you'll want to use. It's the Adams First Approach for the first edition. This is a new thing I added this morning, so you're going to go ahead and click on here and it's going to launch you into what's called OWL. Online Web Learning is what that stands for, in case you care. And once you're in here, then if you can click on the courses, you will see that I created a course, Chem 1A for Spring, for you. Now, when you click on this particular course name, there is a URL right here, and if the students click on that URL, they'll be taken right into your course and be asked to either log in with a Cengage account if they already have one, or just simply create one. So that's how that one works. All right, so I'm going to click on over to the assignments. Now, this is the kind of the heavy lifting that you're going to have to do. We'll go ahead and click this blue button over here, which is Create an Assignment. And there's either Mastery, which I'm going to get to in a minute, or there are some problems, and you see the EOCs are the end of the chapter. There's also some quick preps for you, which are also good, but I'm going to mainly focus on the EOCs right now. So I'm going to click on here, and I'm just going to give it a name. I'll do chapter 1, and I'm going to put demo on here because you'll probably want to change this. Okay, so when's it available? I'll just say, I don't know when classes start. I'll just say the 30th. And then if you want to put a due date, go ahead and put a due date here. This available assignment unavailable means that they wouldn't be able to see it past the due date if you click this box. But the students, sometimes I uncheck this because the students would be able to practice, or not really practice, but just look back on the assignment after the due date has passed. Here you could also set up a penalty if you want to set like, 10% late, if they submit it after the due date kind of thing. I personally don't use due date, late submissions, but if you are that kind of guy, then you can just click here and then just put what percentage you want off. Okay, so I'll go ahead and click continue. Here, okay, there we go. Alrighty, and here is where I'm going to say, yep, I want the Zumdahl Adams First Approach, and continue. And I just had to wait a second because I actually need to wait for that plus thing to come up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select the chapter 1. So you can see that there's all those sections in there. And if you just wanted to do the end of chapter, you could select that. But I'm just going to select all of chapter 1. Okay, here you can filter if you want to do moderate ones or only algorithmic, non-algorithmic, meaning the data set changes. But I would go ahead and just leave the default there. All right. And apparently there are no questions in chapter 1, so I'm going to go back to chapter 2. And actually, Manny, I was wrong because I just needed to wait. There are a bunch of questions for chapter 1, so I'm still in the chapter 1. And you can see that if I click on just the name of it here, the preview is going to come down below so that you can actually read what this is all about. Oh, wow, there's some pictures. Okay, so this is a visualization. That's what the VIS stands for. And the other ones down over here would be the end of chapter. So all you need to do is select them and go include the selected. So I click on it and include it, and you can see that they're coming up over here. Okay, so that's all there is to that to add. Okay, once I click the continue button after I've selected the questions, I can tell it what I want the score for that homework to be. If I just want a pass-fail percentage, whether this is extra credit, and then how many attempts they can get, anywhere from 1 to 10, maybe 3 is enough. And then this is just, do you want to show the links? Do you want to show resources? Do you want to show hints? That kind of question. So, and then what kind of feedback do you want to give them? Before this is this is during the assignment, what kind of feedback, and then after the assignment, what kind of feedback. So I'll let you read through these. if you click on the question right here, it will tell you what the different feedback options are. Okay, so here's the kind of the different descriptions of the settings. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just leave this as it is and complete this assignment. And now you can see that I've got a Chapter 1 homework assignment. Okay, I can return to the assignment list, and now you can see here's my Chapter 1 demo. All right, so if I were to go back here to create assignments, another kind of assignment is what we call a mastery assignment. And this one I'm just going to name Chapter 1 Mastery, if I could spell right. Chapter 1 Mastery. And I can have that due today. I'll just deselect these boxes. I just want to give you kind of a rough idea. But here, when I get here, instead of selecting the end of the chapter homework, I'm going to select the mastery. And the mastery are interesting kinds of assignments. I'm going to select all of the Chapter 1 and click continue. There may not be too much in Chapter 1, but hopefully it'll give you an idea. And here's 2 different kind of, oops. All right. So I'm going to select this and go include selected, do this and include selected, and then click continue. Okay, now let me show you what the mastery assignments actually are about. They have the same kind of settings, so I'm just going to cruise on through here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to preview this as a student so that you can see. Again, this can be used as a homework assignment. It's automatically graded, and it is something that your students can use to practice. So in this case, that you can see that there's 3 questions under each one of these elements. Under each one of these sections. So this one is a question about elements and compounds, and they must show mastery in 2 out of the 3 of those questions in order to get credit for that. So I'm just going to guess here because I really don't know. And I can submit my answer. It says, oh, Julie, are you sure? I see an error. I could go back and change this, right? I'm going to submit, oh, wow. I'm going to submit my answer. Surprised myself, and I can see all of this is correct, right? At this point I can move on to the next question, and I have to get these right as well. Oopsie, sorry, if I only knew what these meant. Okay, and I can submit my answer. All right, maybe something's not right, I don't know. Okay, oh, and I got it partially correct. So you can see, so I can retry this, okay, and it's now going to generate a different set. You can see that I'm still being asked about elements and compounds, but I think my picture's changed, right? So you can see that I'm having to learn this and really master it before I can get credit for this, okay? So, all right, so again, I get this partially right. I can retry this entire group, and I get a different question. So kind of neat, huh? I have a lot of instructors that use this for chemistry that really prefer these masteries, but you could assign a combination of both homework as well as mastery in your homework assignments with no problem at all. So I'm going to switch out of the, oh, I guess I went back over here. Okay, so now I'm going to review one last time, view the assignment, click on Create an Assignment, give it a name, either a mastery or end of chapter, right? Click on Continue, give it a name. Let's go for a Chapter 2 homework. All right, this date, boink, boink, continue. All right, and then I get to choose where it's from. So here I'm just going to come in here and I would choose my chapter, okay? And then just continue on. I think you'll get the hang of it. That was longer than 2 minutes, but I think that you'll get a good start to getting OWL assigned for your students.